Hey everyone, you join me today in the 2024 Kia EV9, and this is going to be my first impressions video. I just set up the cameras in here, I just got in the car. This is the first time that I've been in an EV9. This is the first time I've ever seen an EV9 in person. So you guys are going to get my raw thoughts here on what I think of the vehicle, and let's just get right into it. So getting in here, I mean, coming from an Ioniq 5, this is just a much more massive vehicle. I mean, the interior here is just huge. There's just so much space, so much headroom, especially. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get the driver's seat in the position set up for me at 6'2". You've got adjustable side bolsters here, very nice. Okay, this just gives you a really commanding view of the road. Oh, this steering wheel is electrically actuated. Now, I will say this is the GT line. This is the top trim of the Kia EV9 right now. The GT will be coming out at some point in the future, and then that will be king of the lineup. But for now, the GT line is it. Okay, so seating position, I will say, is really good. I'm very comfortable. I like that it has the open bottom steering wheel, similar to my Ioniq 5. All the buttons on the steering wheel are more or less the same. Material-wise, just going around real quick, everything's pretty nice and soft. Even the dashboard down here on the lower section. Whoa, that is a cool glove box. So the glove box here is absolutely massive, and it kind of dips out and away at the same time in the same motion. You could fit a ton in there. Holy cow. This has the new CCNC connected car navigation cockpit or something, I think it's called. So this is similar to the new Kona electric that I've taken a look at. You've got the digital rear view mirror here. And you can go ahead and change the brightness, the tilt. Pretty cool. We've also got the heads-up display here. Looks just like it does in the Ioniq 5 Limited. I'll have to see how that looks out on the road, though. Got easy-to-use temperature controls here on the dashboard. I like how kind of Spartan the dashboard is, and that is thanks to the fact that they have a separate screen here for the climate controls between the driver display and the center console display. I know I've heard a lot of reviewers complain about this, and yeah, it's true. When you have your hands here at 10 and 2, it completely blocks that climate display. In the current Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6, that center strip between the two displays is kind of just blank space. So here they were trying to do something with it. Honestly, I think that's a fail. I think it would have been nicer just to have hard controls down low that aren't going to be blocked all the time. Granted, you can kind of look around, but that's inconvenient. You've got your vented and heated seats, heated steering wheel, all controlled here on the door panel. This high gloss gray plastic is kind of nice. I've never seen that in another car before. I kind of like it. The door pulls feel really nice. They're just plastic. They're not actually metal, but they feel fairly substantial. Oh, that's nice too. So to get to the front trunk on this car, all you got to do is tap this button here twice instead of pulling a latch to get it open. That's a nice touch. You've got a button to open your charge port here as well. I will say, placement for the start button on the shift stalk here is just really bad. I have really big hands too, so it just exacerbates the problem. But getting in here to hit that button, even if you come from below, it just feels awkward. Either get rid of the button or just leave it on the dashboard where it's easy to reach. You've got this cool volume scroll knob. That feels nice. Ooh, this timbre door feels really nice. It's almost like a rubberized plastic too on the top. That's cool. And then you've got the adjustable cup holders here. This one in the front looks like it can accommodate a big 40-ounce water bottle. This one up front looks like it can accommodate a smaller bottle. But wow, they even engineered the little arms to slide out. I mean, that's a very complex mechanism there. Talking about the key fob, I really like this key fob. It has a really nice, almost like an egg texture. It's just like a kind of whitish color, but aluminum on the outside edges, feels nice. Pretty light. I feel like this is a good balance between the Ioniq 6 key fob and the current Ioniq 5 key fob. Down below you got a big storage bin. You could fit a couple gallons of milk in there maybe. Qi wireless charging pad here with NFC. This car does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Pretty small little back compartment here. You could fit a wallet, your keys. That's about it. I will say the headrests in here feel amazing. It feels like they're completely hollow, but man, they just cradle your head so well. And do we have the relaxation seats here? Yep, looks like we do. Oh wait, what is it doing? Don't do that. What is going on? I don't know what that button did, but it's definitely not the relaxation. The seat has a lot of control. Oh, interesting. So this adjusts the seat bottom up and down. That is strange. I've never seen that adjustment before. But on the door, it does look like we have massage seats too. Yep. So on a long drive, that'll be nice. Get a little whole body massage going in here in your EV9. Don't need that right now though. It's going to distract me. This says it's supposed to be adjusting the leg rest, but that's not adjusting. So I don't know what's going on here, but we'll play with that later. This is just first impressions. You do have a manual closing sunroof in the front. In the back, you have another sunroof, but that is electrically actuated with the automatic cover. I've got my camera mounted there, so I can't close that right now. Overhead lights look pretty bog standard. 2-level heated steering wheel is nice. Let's check out the sound system real quick. Let's use the sounds of nature because I don't have any music loaded on here that's not going to get this video demonetized. Media. Okay, so these capacitive buttons built into the dashboard, I don't know how I feel about them. Now this has the top of the line Meridian sound system. I'm not sure how many speakers it is, but it looks like it's a lot, so it should sound pretty good. Definitely doesn't sound bad. You've got some buttons here. You've got a fingerprint scanner that I presume you could use to start the car if you wanted to. Auto hold, hill descent control, surround view parking monitor, which is definitely going to be useful with a car this size. This thing is huge. And then your parking sensors on and off button. On the passenger seat, you have these controls for moving the seat forward and backwards if you're in the back seat and you need more space. I'm liking the look of the interior. There's a lot of different textures and materials going on. The brushed metal looking finish on the speaker grills looks really sharp. This kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, almost like a tweed kind of fabric throughout the cabin looks nice as well. These seats are super soft, super comfy. Yeah, I could get really comfortable in here on a long road trip. This could be a great road tripper. Now I am seeing that this EV9 has the recent software update to it that for your estimated range gives you a high value as well as a low value. I kind of like that feature. I feel like for a lot of people getting into EVs for the first time, don't really know that you can have a high value and a low value depending on how you drive, what the weather is like, what the terrain is like. So I think this kind of gives a more realistic picture of what you can expect with your EV. So I'm sure Hyundai's going to roll that out to their lineup as well because this is all based on the same system. But yeah, overall, I'm digging this interior. We've looked at this software before. I'm not going to get too deep into it in this video, but it's a big step up from the previous system. It just looks much more modern, much nicer, in my opinion. So that's the first row. This car's got 2 more rows. Let's check those out. This car has an excellent step in height. It's so easy to get in and out of. And wow, the legroom in this middle row is just great. It's comparable to the Ioniq 5, but just feels so much bigger. You have this big pass-through in the center section here for people to get in and out of the third row. These captain's chairs do have these adjustable arms. They kind of ratchet up into place. Very comfortable. I think these are electric seats too. Yep. Yeah, this would be a great place for a road trip. Oh man. Down here you have this cool pull-out little table. You got a big storage bin down here that pulls out. It almost feels like you're in an airplane cabin in this row here in first class or business class. Definitely not coach. Seat back pockets. You do have multiple zones of climate control in here. You've got some sunshades here on the doors, and they are huge because this car has massive side windows back here. Oh, wow. Second row also gets ventilated and heated seats. Man, talk about a spoiled second row. But I mean, this car is about $75,000. So I guess that's kind of to be expected for that price. Let's check out the third row now. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to fit in the third row. Let me move this seat up a bit. All right, so I had to move both seats forward, but I mean, I'm 6'2", and I can stand up. Granted, I'm bent over, but pretty easy to get into this third row. Okay. I think these do recline. I'm not sure if you can adjust it though. Yeah, you can with the strap. All right, so here in this third row, I do have to kind of man spread to fit comfortably. 2 average size adults could fit back here. Probably gonna only want to stick children back here. I could be back here if I was able to stretch my leg out for a little while, or if I kind of moved more towards the center, I could be pretty comfortable for a decent drive. Yeah, definitely not terrible. This thing is huge. But third row passengers are also treated to USB-C ports, a couple decent sized cup holders, and yeah, just in general, not bad. Third row's also got their own reading lights. They've got their own air vents. So yeah, pretty comfortable back here. Now it does turn into mostly hard plastics back here, but you don't really see too many third rows that have a lot of the same textures and materials as the front passengers get. No heated seats or vented seats back here though. All right, so that about does it for the interior of the EV9. Let's take a walk around the back, check out the cargo capacity, we'll check out the front, and then I'll give you guys my impressions of the exterior. All right, so this is my first time opening up the boot. Okay, so yeah, with the third row up, pretty small. You're not going to get a ton of storage space with the seats in the back here up, but let's see how you can get these down real quick. So that folds the headrest. Wow, very simple. Oop. And you got this rug that is not very pliable. It's got this big hump in the middle. This must be the provided charging cable, I guess. Yeah, it comes with the standard 110 volt charger. We're not going to need that. Move that up there. So we've got a button on the inside here to automatically close the hatch. Over here you can fold down the second row seats as well. That's pretty cool. And it's doing all that electronically. You can see the armrests fold in. And now you can just fill this up with all your crap. Wow, not much underfloor storage. That is surprising how little there is. Yeah, and that doesn't come up at all. So, yeah, there's no storage in the back under the floor. Can you fold the second row up with the switches? Oh yeah, you can. But I don't need the third row this week, so I'm going to leave them down like this. We'll go ahead and secure this back here. It's got Velcro on the bottom, so it shouldn't shift around too much. Got your charger cable release emergency switch back there. And other than that, it's a pretty basic trunk area. There's not a whole lot going on back here. You got some stainless steel or aluminum scuff plates. Yeah, that's about it. Standard close and lock button. Nothing too out of the ordinary. So the backup camera is located down here. And then up top, there's another camera. This one is for the digital rear view mirror. Kind of interesting that it's offset, so they must be doing some manipulation of the video feed to kind of make it look more centered. So just like every other Hyundai, Kia, this charges up really quickly. This does 10 to 80% in 22 minutes. Not as fast as the Ioniq 5 or the EV6, but still pretty quick considering this car has a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is almost 25% larger than an Ioniq 5. So yeah, taking a walk around the exterior, you can see it's got the automatically actuating slide-in door handles that don't seem to want to work for me. Yeah, there they go. I like these. I really like them. They feel better than the door handles for the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 6, just because it's just this big, you're not actually bending anything, it's just staying in place for the most part until you pull it. Let's open up the front here, see what that looks like. And man, the front end on this thing is tall. Oh, very cool. So you don't have to actually unlatch anything to get into the front trunk. Very nice, Kia. So this is a much larger front trunk compared to the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 6. Okay, so because of US regulations, they had to put an emergency unlock switch for the hood. So if somebody does get trapped in this small storage area, they can press the button and get out. So if by some miracle some baby gets stuck in here and knows how to flip this cap and press that button, they can escape. Thank God. And then really the only other thing under here that you have access to is the windshield washer fluid, and then even behind these flaps that they kind of try to hide is your coolant loops. I'm not even gonna bother. Yeah, all in all, decent front end. Very impressed with that latch for the hood. I love this color. This color is awesome. Let me turn the headlights on real quick. The accent lighting on this car just looks sick. And then you have those hidden pixel LEDs behind the front bumper. With Kia's store now, you can buy different patterns of these lights to, I guess, impress your friends. That's pretty much all I can imagine them being good for. Front camera, parking sensors, well, pretty basic stuff. So Kia is finally working with Hankook to put their Ion Evo AS SUV EV specific tires on their cars, it looks like. And here we have, what do we have here? Can't see through all this water. 285 45 R21s. So 21s, these things are pretty big, but for a big car, you want big wheels or else they're just gonna look weird. So overall, my first impression, very impressive. This car is great. If you need a 3-row SUV and you want an electric one, your options are pretty limited these days, but I think this should probably be at the top of your shopping list. You know, a few years from now, when me and my fiance start having kids, and we need a bigger vehicle, might seriously consider this vehicle. Granted, the Ioniq 9 will be out by then, or the Ioniq 7, whichever it's going to be, their 3-row version of an all-electric SUV. That should be released this June, so we'll know what that looks like relatively soon compared to the EV9, but it's just a really nice all-around masculine-looking vehicle. Look at these taillights. They're just so alien-looking. So cool. And would you look at that? Kia even tucked a wiper up underneath the rear spoiler. Now, it's kind of just shaking around because there's not a whole lot of water coming down on it, but nevertheless, good job, Kia. You've got the black roof rails on top. These look really slick. I love that the doors go all the way down past the bottom of the rocker panel, so you're not going to get crap all over these. It's then going to get on your pant legs when you're getting in and out. Good job, Kia. All right, folks, that's going to do it for my first impressions video of the Kia EV9 GT line. If you guys are interested in the EV9, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm going to have a ton of coverage over the coming months of this car. I'm going to try and shoot a bunch of videos on it, and yeah, check them out when they come out. If you guys like today's video, give it a thumbs up. That'll let Kia know that giving me these cars is working, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.